Pour yourself a fresh cup of awakening with Coffee with Wally, the podcast that brews enlightening discussions with a grind of the past and future. Join host and seasoned broadcast journalist Wally Wood of the Wood News Group and co-host Andy Valudes, the marine marketer and master strategist from Marketing Dynamics, as they explore the past, present, and future. Dive into a world where technology and globalization intersect with prophecy. Each week, Coffee with Wally links ancient and recent history to tomorrow, making sense of today's rapid changes through the lens of Revelation 13. Don't miss any episode. Visit coffeewithwally.com and subscribe for your weekly espresso of insight. Coffee with Wally, a fresh cup of awakening, awaits you. Coffee with Wally, where understanding our times becomes clear over caffeine.
All right, we're back. My name is Andy Valudes. I'm your co-host with Coffee with Wally Web Extra, in case you're wondering what you're watching. Here with your host, Wally Wood. Hey, Wally, how you doing today?
Good morning, Andy. And how are you doing, sir?
Doing great. We always say we're back because we never know when we're going to be raptured and people will be watching post hosts, if you will. But you've got a very, very serious subject, and you've actually formalized with a tie. I didn't get the memo. So I'm in the wrong uniform today. I should have put on my suit and tie because you're gonna hopefully if you've got your coffee and you're relaxed down, you might need some popcorn because it's about to get real. But go ahead, Wally.
Well, this is the backbone of this ministry. We've got a very new audience with these podcasts and these interviews, separate from what we had when we were on exclusively on YouTube and other networks here in the town. So much of this audience doesn't really know what I've been doing. They just know that I've been a reporter, but they don't know much about our background. In 1970, actually before 1970, the Lord called me into a ministry having to do with end-time Bible prophecy. In 1972, when I broke into the world of broadcast journalism and print journalism, He made it clear to me that this was to be my focus, that I was to hone in on the fulfillment of end-time prophecy when it came to the last empire, which means the Antichrist and his administration. These are the steps leading up to the return of Jesus in our lifetime. Jesus made it clear in Matthew 24 that the generation that saw the things that he was speaking of and the other end-time prophecies were speaking of would not pass away until all had been fulfilled, and that included his return. So my entire career, even in secular news, has always been focused on and pointed toward world developments, world trends that are fulfilling end-time Bible prophecy that you can track on your own. I don't make a habit of giving editorials. I don't give comment. I'm strictly to be a reporter. And the Lord has built this ministry on the basis of reporting world news from a prophetic perspective. And what I'm bringing to you today is critical to that development. Now, we are recording this in September of 2025. It won't be long before this becomes dated. But what I need to share with you today is the most recent announcement coming forth from those who are building a one world government. We're going to end this show with a series of videos that address this issue. I will say right off the bat, this is not conspiracy theory. There is no theory in it. The architects themselves are speaking in terms of what they are building, what their plans are, how soon it's going to come about. And that leads me to today's big announcement. The World Constitution and Parliament Association, in cooperation with the Earth Parliament, that most people don't even know exists, they've just announced this past week, inviting anybody who wishes to attend to join the 16th Provisional World Parliament as it convenes in India the week of December 7th to the 10th, 2025. Now, we will provide you the link to the World Parliament where this announcement is made. In fact, if you go to our website, therevelationfile.com, and click on the tab One World Index, you will find links there that take you into the depths of this world, this architecture of a new world that's happening before our very eyes. But this particular announcement, the inviting the public online or in person to join them for the 16th Provisional World Parliament Conference in India. They've got an agenda of 6 items that they're going to be addressing and be voting on, not the least of which is a further amendment to the already existing Constitution to the planet Earth. And you'll see a video on that here in just a minute as well. We have a world constitution intended one day to replace all national sovereignties with a single government entity, a one world system. Work is already being done to position the nations of the world. The leaders of the world are already involved with this world parliament. They meet on a regular basis. There's about 200 plus attendees at their regular meetings. And it's big. It's very big. And this is what they're building. The emblem, the logo for this next upcoming conference is entitled One World Family. We are one family on this earth. Why have nations? Why have different flags? Why have different currencies? Things of this nature. And so I've spent 50 years, folks, building a library of those who are part of this process and what they've produced. Articles, magazines, books, videos, the whole 9 yards. If you go to therevelationfile.com, I'll show you the entire index as much as we can on our website. You can also go to wallywoodministries.com and find links there. So it's exciting to see how literal the fulfillment of end-time Bible prophecy is becoming. I've said for years that the prophecies of old are becoming the headlines of today. And this is a very serious work. The leaders of the world already have their copy of the New World Constitution. You go to the revelationfile.com and click on that One World Index. I give you the links to all 3 models of the New World Constitution. The most recent one you can actually download directly into your computer, all 50 pages. They want everybody in the world to have their copy of the New World Constitution. We've got a New World flag that's going to be shown here in a moment. So I couldn't be more serious in the intent of what it is that Andy and I are producing. It may seem light in some areas, and that's fine. We're crossing all kinds of genres here. And our focus primarily, as you've heard us talk about, becoming a hard believer. As the days get closer, the Bible says that even as one sees these things being fulfilled, he purifies himself. He prepares himself for the rest of the fulfillment. So I want you to be focused in on the fact that in the midst of everything that's going on, all the weather that's happening, that too is symbolically prophetic. The intensity of the weather, the earth is groaning, okay? It's tied in with the politics of the day. It's tied in with the philosophies of the day. Everything that's happening, as extensive as it is all part of this evolution into a one world, new world system. And you're going to be hearing, coming up here rather shortly, some very interesting talk on the reality and raising the question, why not? Why not have a global government? The individual nations are not solving the world's problems. We need a president of planet Earth. Time magazine back in the 70s addressed that issue. President of the planet Earth. They suggested that it was time now for the United Nations to seriously consider a new political office with that title, President of the planet Earth. And you're going to hear it referred to in one of the videos coming up. The new world flag, the new world currency is being developed right now. AI is playing a major role in fine-tuning this direction into this new world system. You almost hate to use the term New World Order because it's all automatically going to be tagged by certain sources as being conspiracy theory. Sorry, folks, it's not theoretical. I've been watching this and reviewing it. The book, Tragedy and Hope. Andy, you've got that book by Dr. Carol Quigley, the late Dr. Carol Quigley. It was a journal into the operations of the insiders, the architects of this one world, new world system. And he didn't pull punches. He made no bones about it. He even made the comment that he was a part of this process for the better part of 20 years and was allowed to investigate and review their secret records, their journals, their mail, this type of thing, their conversations. And he made the comment. He said, I have no aversion to what they're doing. My only chief difference of opinion is that they wish to remain unknown, and I feel that their role in history is significant enough to be known. Dr. Quigley became the college history professor for President Clinton before Bill Clinton became president, and on his road to become a Rhodes Scholar. So these things are deeply etched in the fabric, the makeup of this country and of the world. And you can do all the scuttlebutt you want, you can do all the argument you want, and all the debates you want surrounding the idea of a conspiracy theory. But your professionals out there, those who know what's going on, no theory about it. It's happening. So we're going to break into this series of videos. We got 3 videos that we want you to see. And I want you to take this program as a foundational program into your entry into this knowledge that the Bible from Daniel chapter 2 all the way through the book of Revelation spoke of this day coming, a one world empire with a one world leader. And I'm not hung up on this. It's not a phobia, it's a focus that the Antichrist, who will soon be on the world scene within the next few short years, he is pre-Christ. The next big thing that follows is the return of Jesus Christ to bring the reign of the Antichrist to an end. So, batten down the hatches, put your seatbelts on, pay close attention. Some of the quality of the videos here are not pristine, but they've been generated through many generations of replays and this type of thing. Pay attention to what you're about to hear, because this is what is happening in the world today, and this is where we're headed as a result of the things that are confronting the world at this very hour. I thank you all for tuning in. Get your friends to tune in. Record this program. Play it in your Bible studies, your Sunday schools, your pastors, wherever. This upcoming conference of the New World Parliament. Take it away.
All right, Wally, so this reminds me of the movie title, Something Wicked This Way Comes. So one of the things that's absent in your description, and before I say this, I'm reading 2 books that you gave me, Fox's Book of Martyrs, and so nothing new under the sun. The world systems have been at enmity with God since the message of Christ was presented at the cross. but also reading a book called The Tale of Three Ships. So you have the sinking ship, the cruise ship, and the battleship. So I think the hard believer concept is more getting ready to, like you said, batten down the hatches and become a fortified family, if you will, a battleship on the horizon. So in your description, there in what we're going to see in these videos, there is no celebration of Christianity. It's
No.
enmity with what we believe, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we're going to share these videos now.
Why don't I have the opportunity to vote to elect someone to represent me at the world level? It's if we seem to take for granted that democracy and legislatures, where we both elect particular individuals and send them to bodies that have the power to enact enforceable law, if that's the way we do it in Los Angeles and Sacramento and in Washington, why in the world don't we do it that way on the world stage? But I think the big idea is that we ought to have something like a parliament of humankind.
Join with us and to be a part of this process as we take that most noble step of all of humankind, the final step to the way we govern ourselves, a world government. We have the main body, which is the Congress of the Earth, consisting of 1,000 women and 1,000 men, one from each world congressional district of 6.5 million people, 1,000 districts, or 2,000 people will be in the Congress of the Earth.
World government advocates are suggesting a new political vision, an effective alternative to the United Nations' fatal weaknesses. It's a vision as courageous as that of the framers of the United States Constitution. It will feature a federation of all nations, with democratic elections of a world legislature, a government under law with a Bill of Rights, a system of world courts, and global law enforcement to ensure peace.
There's no doubt we're moving toward a global new world order, right? Eventually, we'll all be citizens not of individual countries, but just of planet Earth. There's already so much evidence pointing to that, and now there's this. Someone's just designed a new international flag of planet Earth. A 24-year-old Swedish design student came up with it as part of a college graduation project because he's pretty sick of national flags appearing in space missions. He contends that when they leave the planet, our astronauts stop representing countries and start representing all of us Earthlings. But if you look at any imagery of man landing on the moon, for example, you're bound to see American flags all over the place. So the Swedish design student made a flag for planet Earth to be used for all future space missions, moving us one step closer to living under one global world order. It'll be up to agencies like the UN Office for Space Affairs, NASA, or ESA to decide whether or not to make the flag official. The flag features a blue background, which represents water, essential to life on our planet. In the center of the flag, 7 white rings intersect to form a flower, which the designer says represents life on Earth. They're linked together to reflect how everything on our planet is directly connected, for better or worse. The new Earth flag comes as we Earthlings are trying to land on Mars, so the timing's perfect, because we're human. So you know we're going to want to stick something into that virgin planet to leave our mark, right? That's how we roll. Just because we reach Mars doesn't mean we're all of a sudden going to mature as a species and not feel the need to leave our mark everywhere. So we're going to need a flag for planet Earth. Just like we're going to need a president for planet Earth, an official song for planet Earth, and a capital city for planet Earth. All of our politicians and billionaires are already working toward one global power structure. We all know this. And thanks to the internet and other technological advancements, we're already becoming a global community. So it's only a matter of time before the new world order comes to fruition and all the crap that's bound to come with that. But hey, at least we'll all be ready to be blind patriots of this brave new world with a flag all ready to wave. I'm the resident. Tonight, let's talk about that.
I want to welcome you, the viewers of the Revelation File TV channel on YouTube. We are at Encourager Church here in Houston. The date is Sunday, February 25th, 2018. This is a special segment of a program that we do on a quarterly basis called the Revelation File News Forum, in which we come together and I put together a multimedia presentation. We give a 2-hour show on a main topic and before a live audience. And we're before a live audience today. But in today's program, I wanted to do something that's not been done before that I can see to date on YouTube, and that's the unfurling of the international flag of Earth. This has come by way of the provisions, the blessings, the promotions of the World Parliament. And the World Parliament is fast becoming known as the United Earth Parliament. This is not a branch of the United Nations. It's designed and intended to one day replace the United Nations. They've already passed a series of laws, legislative acts. They're not binding right now, but in the anticipation that they do become legal, these laws will go into effect. The best way to read about it is to go to our website at therevelationfile.com, and we have a tab across the top called One World Index. You click on that tab, take you into the links to the Constitution of the Federation of Earth. You can download that 50-page copy into your own computer from our link. We'll take you to the World Parliament, show you their sessions, show you what they're doing. We take you to the world flag, which you'll see here in just a moment. We'll also take you to the Pledge of Allegiance to the Constitution of the planet Earth, and we're going to be reading that in just a moment. And then we also give you a link to the new world currency. These things are happening despite us, and it's been part of a program, a process, an evolution, 30, 40, 50 years, even further than that. So right now what we're going to do, we're going to train our cameras this way. I've got the assistance of our friend and MC, Gil Markarian. You take that in, and I'll take this in, and we will unfurl the flag of Earth. This is what, not just the World Parliament, but NASA has supported. They are on a program to replace the American flag emblem on the spacesuits with this emblem. So what I want to do, you see there on the upper left of the film, the astronaut spacesuit with this as the emblem on that spacesuit. This is the Martian spacesuit design, okay? So we're going to set this right here. And you can also see it hanging outside a home. You can buy your own copy if you're interested. Buy your own model at Amazon.com. Just type in Flag of Earth or International Flag of Earth, and you do what Andy and I have done, and that's purchase your own model of this new Earth flag. Before we leave this program for the RevFile YouTube channel, I want to read to you the Pledge of Allegiance to the Constitution of the Federation of Earth and to the Republic of Free World Citizens for which it stands. One Earth Federation, protecting by law the rich diversity of the Earth's citizens. One Earth Federation, protecting the precious ecology of our planet. I pledge allegiance to the World Parliament, representing all nations and peoples, and to the democratic processes by which it proceeds. One law for the earth, with freedom and equality for all. One standard of justice, with a Bill of Rights protecting each. I pledge allegiance to the future generations, protected by the Earth Constitution, and to the unity, integrity, and beauty of humankind, living in harmony on the earth, our One Earth Federation, conceived in love, truth, and hope, with peace and prosperity for all. I'm intrigued by that closing line, conceived in love, truth, and hope, and it causes me to raise the question, whose love, truth, and hope are we talking about?
have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
World government is the structure necessary for global justice. First, we Americans are going to have to yield up some of our sovereignty. That's going to be, to many, a bitter pill.
So, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, a new world is emerging. It is a new world order with significantly different and radically new challenges for the future.
We shall have world government, whether or not we like it. The only question is whether world government will be achieved by conquest or consent. James Paul Warburg of the Warburg dynasty. You see on your screen the three models of the Constitution of Earth that began back in 1965. You know, I still stand amazed when God told me in 1972 I was not to say a word without the documentation to back it up, and he would see to it I had all the documentation I needed. Boy, has he ever fulfilled that promise. The Economist magazine, get ready for a world currency. Foreign Policy Journal, with fewer currencies make more sense. Daniel chapter 2, verse 45, the great God has made known to you what will take place in the future, so the dream is true and its interpretation is trustworthy. If you want to read a precise course of world history, go in Daniel chapter 2, verses 2 through 45, and there you see the entire array that have come down through history, ending in the empire of the one man who would be God. And we're going to transition into our second segment to our YouTube viewers. I want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Revelation File News Report. We invite you to come back again for our next edition next week.
All right. So, folks, study these videos that we're sharing on Coffee with Wally, the podcast, and Web Extra. So, you've been watching Coffee with Wally Web Extra, where understanding our times becomes clear over caffeine.